All right, so I don't think you'd click on this video if you weren't disappointed in judo in the Olympics this year round. Everyone I've heard talk about judo has said that it's a penalty game, there aren't enough attacks, and the big throws just aren't there nearly as often as they should be. So I think Sambo is the solution to modern Olympic judo. Maybe not judo as a whole, because judo as a whole still has the leg grabs. Like, that is still judo, in my opinion. And in my opinion, Sambo is just old judo. But one of the big things we have rule set wise in competitive Sambo is if you're shooting, like going for a double leg, a single leg, or you're just dropping to your knees for drop sayo, that's a false attack. And I know judo has that too, but I don't think it's used nearly enough. Nick Unesco was actually talking about this on his YouTube channel. He's the father of Jack Unesco, who just competed in the Olympics. Is that in old judo, if you were just dropping to your knees and not really attempting a throw, so you can off-balance someone without actually attempting to throw them. In Sambo, you're going to get a penalty for that. I went against a wrestler in Pan Ams for my first round, and he was shooting, and he ended up being the one penalized because his attacks didn't really have any real merit to them in the end. He was shooting from far away, getting to my legs barely, and I was sprawling on him fairly easily. So he ended up getting penalized out. I did end up getting an Uchimata on him and threw him for 4 points. I think I might have thrown him for another 2 points at one point. I was 6 points up, and he ended up getting penalized out. We also get scores for penalties. So instead of penalties just being this arbitrary thing that are there, and if scores are equal, the one who has more penalties loses. In Sambo, you actually get scores for penalties. So the first one's a warning in sport, then you get 1 point, and then 2 points for the third one, and the fourth one is you're out. So I think that does create some real urgency behind not getting penalties as well. I know judo went down to 3 penalties, but I don't think that's enough to provide that urgency, in my opinion. I think providing scores really does help with that. So the next big thing is, in Sambo, we have 0 grip restrictions. I think we might have a thing where you can't grab inside, but no one really does that because it is a danger to your fingers. But you can do pistol grip, whereas in judo, you can't do this pistol grip. You can't do cat's paw in judo. You can't grab on the same side of the gi for more than 3 seconds. You can't grab the belt. Those are all things that you can do in Sambo, and I still think we see more attacks in Sambo and more exciting matches, despite the fact that we have 0 grip restrictions. I think it really ends up helping us. We have more creative throws because we can grab in more places. We can do more things with the gi, and because that is our tool. We have the gi for a reason, or we have the kurka, that's what we call it, for a reason. It's a tool. We should be able to use it in whatever form or fashion we want. Some interesting throws, we got like hanegoshis from the front of the belt. This is a big one that people do. It's hanegoshi from the front of the belt. You grab the front of the belt, and you can turn from a hanegoshi from there. Extremely powerful, very interesting, something different than you see in modern-day judo. And I really do think we see a lot more attacks. The next thing that leads to us having more attacks is we still have those leg grabs that old judo had. We're still able to do those firemans, those tegurumas as well. We have all those big leg grab throws, and because you have to come up off of your knees to finish the throw in Sambo, or have to have done like a heel step or drop to your knee and throw immediately, there can't be any, you can't just run on your knees to finish the throw. It has to be a continuation of what you did standing, or you have to come up off your knees to finish like a double or single leg. You can't just drop on your knees and then run forward and they fall on their butt and then that's 1 point. No, you still have to come up off your knees. If you shoot a double leg, you can't just run on your knees. You actually have to shoot and then come up. So we still have those big throws, and that kind of does fix that issue that some people talk about with judo, where people will just drop to their knees and then run the pipe, or drop to their knees and try to run forward on their knees and finish a double leg. It just doesn't look pretty. we still have those pretty throws because you have to finish standing, and you get rewarded for finishing standing. If you finish on your feet, you double your scores, unless it's like an ippon throw where you throw them flat on their back and you stay standing. That's total victory. That's just like an ippon. The match is over. But if you fall with your opponent and throw them on their back, that's only 4 points. You have to get an 8-point majority to win. So we have a lot of these rules to help you really want to attack. And you don't have the fear of losing so quickly by engaging on the feet, because you have to win by 8 points or a total victory. That's very, very challenging to do. The amount of total victories you see is not very common, but you do see a lot of 4-point throws. So even if you get thrown for 4 points one time, you still have a chance to come back in the match, which promotes your willingness to engage on the feet, because you know this can't be over in just a split second unless someone is just that much better than me. If someone throws me while they stay standing flat on my back, they're just that much better. I didn't get caught. They're just better. So you're promoted to actually engage in the match. Another big thing is we have combat sambo. So in between the grappling matches, if that isn't something that interests you, we have basically MMA in a gi top. So we have a lot of sports sambists, and then I think they get a lot of exposure because you have the combat sambo on the side, because you have that really exciting thing that can draw in competitors. So maybe judo talking to kudo and having some relationship there where you have a judo and kudo competition where it's switching back and forth between judo and kudo, because then you have something that outsiders, people that watch MMA may want to watch. It's something interesting. So I think sambo really does grow a lot because of that. So I think those are some of the ways that sambo can be a fix to current Olympic judo. Thank you to Nick Unesca for kind of giving me this idea for a video. I enjoyed your video on what are the issues in Olympic judo, and honestly, I really do think sambo fixes those issues. So I hope you watch the video. If you do, please respond. Everyone, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment down below what your opinions are. Do you think sambo actually does fix some of these things that judo has an issue with? Or do you think I'm completely out of touch? I am a judo black belt and did judo for 15 years, and I wanted to be a judo Olympian. So there's that. So if you think I'm biased towards sambo, not really. Judo is my first love when it comes to combat sports. Sambo is just the rule set that I like currently. So leave a comment down below what you really think. And then, I appreciate you viewing. Subscribe, and y'all have a good day. 1, 2.